Hello everybody and welcome back to another new vlog, and Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. If not, hope you're enjoying the winter season anyway. I've come out here today to a place called RSPB Middleton Lakes, which is fairly local to me, although it is a little bit difficult to get to with public transport, but I've managed to get here fairly early in the morning, and it's a beautiful, quiet, peaceful spot. And I absolutely love it. I've been here a few times before. There's not really an awful lot to see here, but it is a nice spot for landscape photography, I think. It's certainly going to be a nice spot for wildlife and certainly birds and things like that, because it is an RSPB nature reserve. But I'm going to have a wander around and see if I can find any decent images. But before I do, it is very, very muddy here, by the way. I've just walked from the main road, caught the bus here, walked from the main road down a little country path which is absolutely covered in mud. The ground is sodden, it's awful. It's been very difficult to get here because of it. We had quite a bit of rain, heavy rain the other night, 2 nights ago, and the ground is still soaking wet since then. So it's a bit of an interesting challenge today, but I'm here now and I can find a path around the lakes themselves and have a look and see if I can find a few images. So I'm going to head off and see if I can find my first shot now. So I think I've found a spot where I was the last time I came here, which is good because it means I've found my bearings now, so I can stop and find a few compositions. But I just want to put into perspective exactly where I am. Not far down this path behind me is the River Tame, which runs just south of the town of Tamworth. And also all around here are the lakes and rivers of RSPB Middleton Lakes. But also just past the River Tame, on the other side of that, is the M42 motorway. Although you wouldn't know it standing here, you wouldn't know there was a motorway right by us. And just beyond that is Kingsbury Water Park, which if you guys have been watching for a while, you'll know I was there about a month or so ago, taking some photos back at the end of autumn. So I'm pretty much sure of where I am now. I'm going to walk along this path and take some photos along here. I know there are some great shots here because I took some good shots in this very spot the last time I was here, I think probably about 4 years ago now. So I'm going to go and set up and get my first shot. So I've managed to get the EOS R8 set up with the 100 to 400mm lens on, and I've just been trying to snap a few pictures of this lake behind me, which you can see. I'm kind of very low down at the edge of the lake, so I'm not really getting a high enough perspective to see this properly, which is a little bit difficult, but it still means that I'm out of the way of the birds and I'm not bothering anything, and I can get some nice interesting shots. I have spotted an egret over in the reeds, over in the far side of the lake, but unfortunately, even at 400mm with that long lens on, I can't quite get in close enough to get a decent shot of the egret. I can focus on it, but it's just too far away for it to be prominent in the image, but you may be able to see it in one of these photos. But apart from that, I've just been basically scanning along the edge of the lake itself to see if I can spot a couple of compositions, and I know that just across the way here somewhere, I can't exactly point it out properly, but there is a little bit of an inlet of water at the back end of the lake, which kind of takes the water off into another lake further off in the distance, and I'm just sort of focusing on that little area there because there's a few little birds swimming around on the water just in that area. I don't know if I can get them in shot either, but I quite like the composition of that little inlet of water, the small strip of water that I can see in front of it, and then I've got these reeds here right in front of that, which just right at the very bottom edge of the image, and then behind all that I've got some of these trees in the background with lots of different colours on them, which are also making for a very interesting image, and it gives you those several different layers that are really, really cool in the shot. So I hope you like these images. I'm going to move on and see if I can find something else. I've just walked across a footbridge, and whilst I was walking across, there were a few other people walking across the bridge as well, and somebody had put some breadcrumbs out on the top of the bridge, and there were all these little garden birds just flying around trying to get to the breadcrumbs, millions of them. I think there might have been great tits, but I think there were also some blue tits and possibly some chaffinches there as well. So I'm going to head back there and have another look and see if those people have moved, and see if I can capture some images of those little garden birds just flying around and trying to get some bread. But then I'm going to head off and see if I can find anything else as well. I can't really get any further on from where I am at the moment because the whole area behind me is completely flooded. I knew that there was a spot further along that road, along that path behind me, where there was a woodland trail that I could walk through, but I can't get to it at the moment. Like I said, it's all very flooded, and that's mainly because of the rain that we had recently. So I think that's kind of aborting my mission for that particular part of the day, but I might go back and head back the way I've come, because I know there's a few other shots that I could have taken in that direction earlier on the walk over here. So I'm going to do that and see if I can find some more images on the way back over there. But I also want to talk to you a little bit about an incident that happened a couple of weeks ago, and I'll tell you more about that in just a moment. A few weeks ago I went over to a place called Chasewater Country Park, which was lovely, nice place to be, and I managed to get some nice interesting shots of a group of red deer that were over there on Chasewater Country Park. It's not far away from Cannock Chase, that particular park itself, but I started recording a vlog over there and decided to abort the mission completely because I didn't like the way things were going over there. There was a bit of an incident that occurred, and it got me a bit concerned about my safety while I was over there. So, like I said, I decided to cut the vlog short at that point. Check out that bridge behind me I'm about to cross. What happened was, whilst I was there photographing the red deer, a guy approached me and started talking, very polite, chatting about the deer, chatting about what goes on in Chasewater Country Park and all kinds of things. And then all of a sudden he said to me, "Oh, what are you shooting with? What camera?" So I told him, and he said, "How much was that? Is it insured? Because you don't want to get it stolen, do you?" So obviously at that point, that was the point to abort the mission and walk away, put everything away and left the park. Went and had a cup of coffee, went and found somewhere to have lunch, and then went home and didn't really finish the vlog that I wanted to do there. I was probably just unlucky to get in that particular spot on that particular day at that particular time. Now I can't think of any good reason why he would say something like that. So I just felt like it was time to get gone. And it annoyed me a little bit. Annoyed me more because I'd gone there with all the best intentions in the hope of getting some decent images, which by the way I did anyway. But I just didn't want to be intimidated into thinking that somebody was going to rob me while I was out and about shooting. So I left it for a bit, and I've been having to think about kind of more forward planning and thinking about trying to make sure I know a bit more about an area that I'm going to the next time I go anywhere, just to be certain that I'm not going to put myself in the same position again. But I'm going to show you some of the images now of the red deer, the photos that I took while I was there. But there's no video footage with it, so apologies for that, but I hope you like those images. I'm going to head on while you look at those. As is quite often the case on these vlogs, my camera battery is starting to run out. I've just had to swap one battery over. I've got a spare battery, but now I don't have another spare battery if the battery in the R8 goes. So I'm really kind of stuck at the moment. Also, it's gone very overcast in the last 15 minutes, half an hour or so, and I can already start to feel a few spots of rain on my head. So I'm going to leave the vlog here for now. As I said earlier, Merry Christmas if you celebrate it, and if you've enjoyed the vlog, please give it a thumbs up, and also please remember to subscribe to the channel. And if you've got any comments that you want to make at all, leave the comments in the comments box below this video. I'll always try and answer all of the comments, and in the meantime, I look forward to seeing you all again on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.